Good evening, Sir Rajan. My name is Nurfazina Yusuf and my metric number is 72584 from MC Group. Today, I would like to talk about my reflection on this course. From this course, I had expected to learn more and know more about the concept of designing and the organization of modern computer system. Before learning this course, I had only known about the storage of RAM and ROM, like the bigger storage the better. Thus, I expect to explore other specifications as I know that there are more specifications that a hardware and a software could have, such as Intel, AMD, and overclocking. In this course, I have learned 11 learning units in this semester, 7 chapters before mid-semester and 4 more chapters after the break. Overall, this 7th chapter was really interesting because I can finally get to know more about what happens in RAM, cache memory, and even detecting errors in code. Unfortunately, some issues had happened during the break and we continued our session in an online class. Learning these 4 chapters was a rush and also fascinating, as I get to learn about software, hardware, program, operand and instruction, and many more. Personally, I was a bit disappointed that I could not experience the real deal of being in a face-to-face lab session. This is because I could have explored more about computers in real life with the equipment that will be provided in the lab. But overall, it is a great experience as I did learn more about what interests me the most during this course, which is the computer's specification. Now, I would like to talk about what I value the most in each chapter. In chapter 1 would be the Moore's law, which is computer doubles in power roughly every 2 years but costs only half as much. Although it may not always hold true and new law may or may not be discovered in 5 to 10 years in future. In chapter 2 will be Boolean function. This is because it can only be implemented by using gets in set like and, or, not, nan, nor, and zor. In chapter 3 would be interrupt in the instruction cycle, as this is one of the efficient way to improve processing efficiency. In chapter 4 would be the cache memory because less time is required to access data from the main memory when the data and instruction is frequently requested. The data will immediately available to the CPU. In chapter 5 would be Hamming error correction code because they are effectively used to detect errors and correct them. In chapter 6 would be RAID because using RAID gives a higher data security that improves performance on hard disks. In chapter 7 would be the external devices. This is because they are most frequently used in our daily life such as keyboards, printers, modem, and NIC. In chapter 8 would be the multi-program batch system, as this system enables user to multitask that will cause the input-output to become faster. In chapter 9 would be the arithmetic and logic unit because it is where all the calculation takes place. In chapter 10 would be the control and status register. This is because it is only visible to user and some of the essential register are instruction register and memory address register. Finally, in chapter 11 would be the RISC because it is simple, only one clock is required and a fewer addressing modes than CISC. The most important concept that I had learned in this course is that every option has its own advantage and disadvantages. For example, does an interrupt needed to be used in the cycle? Should I choose parallel or serial interfaces? Overall, what we choose is depending on our own specification, whether it is for a heavy-duty computers or just a basic computer. Being able to attend this class really helped me to know my computer's hardware better than before. I was able to explore my own computer's hardware. I was also gaining the knowledge deeper about a computer's hardware, like the pros and cons of using Intel or AMD. After gaining so much from this class, I would not only look to the storage when buying a computer, but looking the overall performance is great and guaranteed according to my usage. Or it could become handy if I would like to purchase a custom personalized computer from a professional. What I like the most about this course is that the subject is really interesting to be learned and have a good teaching method, which is sporting. What I like the least about this course is that e-learning makes it difficult to learn since we cannot learn it face to face and ask questions. This is because there would be a time when we were unable to join the class due to the connection problem. That's all for me. Thank you.